Barnaby Jones, starring Buddy Ebsen. Also starring Lee Merriweather, with guest stars Bradford Dillman, Robert Hogan, special guest star William Conrad. Tonight's episode, Requiem for a Son.
$94, $96, $98, $100,000.
I'm coming. Hello.
Hello, Frank. Hal Jones.
Oh, Hal, how are you?
Look, I've got a problem.
Yeah, what's wrong?
Look, we're buddies, right? In the same business. I need some professional advice.
Where are you?
In a phone booth. Look, I've got myself into one hell of a jam trying to help out a client. May I talk to you in confidence?
Shoot.
Not over the phone. You know, I'm only a few minutes away.
Well, look, I just put a spinach souffle in the oven. Why don't you come up here and share it with me, huh?
I'll be right up.
Okay.
Thanks, Frank.
that you?
Who's this?
Oh, this is Frank Kennett. Who am I talking to?
This is Hal's father, Mr. Cannon. Hal's dead. He was killed last night.
Oh, Mr. Jones, give me a minute, will you?
Why were you calling?
Well, Hal called me last night.
What time?
Oh, I guess it was about 11:45. From a payphone, he said that he was in some kind of trouble.
What kind?
He didn't say. He just said he wanted to talk to me, and I told him to come on up to my place. He said he'd be right over.
I'll be right over.
No, wait a minute. Hold on. Are the police there?
They're here.
Then why don't we meet at Hal's office before they get there?
I'm on my way.
All right.
She's going to rest now. How are you feeling?
Angry. Betty, listen to me. I've got to go out for a while. Mrs. Brenner will be here with you. I'll be back soon.
Oh, please.
Keep the press away from her.
Barnaby Jones.
Frank Cannon.
I'd like to offer my condolences.
Thanks.
Hal was a close friend.
I don't have to tell you how he valued your friendship. What did he say to you last night?
Oh, not much more than what I told you, that he'd gotten himself into trouble trying to help a client.
Client?
Yeah, and he wanted to talk to me in confidence.
Did he say where he was?
Just a few minutes away, he said.
Griffith Park. He was shot down in the phone booth he was calling you from. Place is like an old friend. And there are not many of them left. 4 years ago, when I retired, I calculated I had lived exactly half my life out of this office. Hal used to love this place. He used to come here as a boy, worked his way through USC, used to study here at night. Right in there at my desk, sometimes right in here. Oh, I used to give him some help now and then. Chemistry, clinical psychology, forensic medicine, criminology. Those are my specialties, you know.
I know.
When I turned the business over to Hal, he didn't change a thing.
Barnaby, I'd like your permission to take on this case. I'd consider it a personal score to find the man who killed your son.
That's very generous of you, Cannon, but this is something for me to do. Here's another old friend. Only had to use it once in 28 years.
Look, Barnaby, I'm going to be blunt with you. You have been in retirement for 4 years now. You said that yourself.
Yes, but the old reflex is still sharp as a colt's. You ever work with horses, Cannon?
Only the $10 window. Don't remind me of it. What about Hal's wife? I suppose she's going to be needing your help now.
Yes, I thought of that. But the more I think of Betty, the more resolved I am to get this man myself. Cannon, you may be the best in the business, but I did all right for myself for 28 years, and Hal was my son.
Okay.
Which isn't to say that I might not need your help.
What case was Hal working on, do you know?
No, I doubt if we'll find out here. He was as uncomplicated as I was. Carried everything in his head.
Evidently, he went to a party night before last Thursday. Somebody by the name of Terry.
Terry McCormick.
Terry McCormick. That's the lawyer who's running for Congress, huh?
Hal did some work for him a couple of years ago on an industrial espionage case. McCormick has kept him on retainer ever since.
Ever heard of a girl by the name of Karen Armsby?
No, what's this?
Yesterday's newspaper. Says there that she worked on McCormick's staff.
So, on behalf of my campaign co-workers and myself, I'd like to say that we're deeply gratified to learn that we've moved ahead in the polls.
Let me ask a question, Mr. McCormick. Some commentators attribute your surging popularity to your free spending campaign style.
Well, Mr. Russell, let me say this. I have contributed considerable resources of my own to this campaign, but I believe that my exposure has not communicated my personal means to the voters as much as it has my spirit of commitment. I think that that should do it, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you very much. See you all in Washington, I hope.
One more.
Mr. McCormick.
I'm sorry, I have a heavy schedule this afternoon.
I'm Hal Jones' father.
Please, come into my office. I don't want to be disturbed. All right?
That will be all for today, ladies and gentlemen. Most of your questions will be answered in this press release, so please take one on your way out.
I only heard the news on my car radio as I was driving in. I can't tell you how shocked I was. All of us who knew Hal felt so strongly.
Yes, everyone liked him. Almost everyone. I don't want to take too much of your time, Mr. McCormick.
Don't you worry about my time, sir. Here, please, come sit down. And tell me if there's anything at all that I can do for you.
Yes? Yes, you might be able to help me a great deal. You see, I'm investigating Hal's murder. When was the last time you saw Hal?
Well, as a matter of fact, he came to a party at my house in Malibu last Thursday night.
Really? Big party?
I don't suppose there were more than 25 or 30 people. It started out as a get-together for some of the members of my campaign staff, and it just grew. It's fortunate that my wife and children are in Aspen visiting her parents.
Was he alone?
Hal? Yes. Well, you're asking me, was he working for me? Well, the answer is yes again, but I don't understand because it was just campaign security.
Were you having problems?
No, not at all. I invited Hal simply to meet the other members of my staff.
I wonder if it would be possible for me to have a list of the other guests who attended the party?
Certainly. I'll have my secretary make out a list for you this afternoon.
Well, here's my card, in case you want to get in touch with me for any reason. And thank you very much for your time, Mr. McCormick.
Please call me Terry, sir.
If you stop calling me sir. I forgot to offer my condolences to you on the death of the young lady who was working for you, Karen Armsby. Well, good luck on your campaign.
I think then we better check at what time we're supposed to be at the station. Would you let me know?
Okay, Terry.
How'd you know it was me?
You have a rather distinctive silhouette. I talked to Terry McCormick today. He said Hal was at the party, but that's all. Here's a list of the other people. Karen Armsby was there, too. He played it close to his vest about her. Awful close.
Two people at the same party, both now dead. One murdered, the other suicide. 1 day apart.
Can you make a connection?
What, do you question the suicide?
I question everything. Of course, the medical examiner's report is pretty conclusive. She swallowed a whole bottle of barbiturates. That could kill her in 15 minutes.
Yeah, it must have been some lousy party. And a long ride home for her, too.
That's what bothers me. Who took her home? Or did she drive herself?
I think I'm going to check her place out. You got anything else?
Just the ballistics report on Hal. Slug from a .38.
How did you happen to find her at 10 o'clock in the morning?
I was returning her keys.
What key?
The car keys. Her car had been in the shop for a week. They just brought it back. The driver left the keys with me. I always put things away for Karen. She said I was like a mother to her.
And somebody else drove her Thursday night, huh?
I don't know if it was one of them. She had lots of beaux. I didn't see her Thursday night.
Can I keep these for a little while?
Don't know what good they're going to do her now. With all that attention, why do you think she did it?
Yes. All right, I'll take it. Hello?
I could have killed you today. That was just a warning, Mr. Candidate.
Who is this?
Where were you last night? We had a date, remember? At the Griffith Park Observatory? You think I was kidding or something? I kid you not. You need a little push, maybe. Like next time I try your side of the windshield. I got something better. I've got Karen's suicide note right here in my hand.
What are you talking about?
Oh, it's a real Valentine. Like how you were going to divorce your wife and marry her. But you lied. I'd be glad to give you a copy. I had several made up this morning for the newspapers. But I'm keeping the original just for you.
What do you want?
You've got a very short memory. The same as before, 100,000 in 20s. Have the money ready and be at your phone at 11 tonight.
Was that... He's not coming back.
I know, honey. I know.
It's what I've been afraid of for years. He always said, oh, honey, they don't shoot people like me. The worst I'll ever get is a traffic ticket or a punch in the face.
I know. I used to say the same thing myself.
Oh, I have got to do something. Let me fix you a cup of coffee.
I guess I could do with a glass of milk.
Good. Come on.
Betty, I've been thinking, why don't you come out to the ranch for a few days? Been kind of lonely for me out there.
Well, I guess we're both gonna need someone to take care of us.
Or someone to take care of.
I know. Let me think about it.
Well, while you're thinking, I'm going to make you a promise. I promise that I'm going to get the man that killed Hal.
The same thing will happen to you.
No, he wasn't prepared for it. I am. It makes all the difference.
I can't stop you. Hal was the same way.
Have you any idea what he was up to? I didn't think so. What about that party he went to Thursday night?
Terry McCormick's?
Did he say anything about it?
No. He acted strange the next morning.
Strange?
Oh, moody. Like something was on his mind. We were going to the ball game in the afternoon, and he forgot all about it when Terry called.
Terry called him Friday?
Yes. I know they met in Hal's office that afternoon.
Did he say where he was going Friday night?
Same thing he always said. I'm going to meet a client.
I'll get it. Hello?
Well, I'm glad I reached you.
What about?
I think I have something which may help in your search.
I'm listening.
Can you come to my house? It's Rocky Point Cove, Pacific Coast Highway.
I'll be there. Betty, I have to go out for a while.
Oh, where?
I'm going to meet a client. Quite a view you got there. Makes me think of China. All that water and nothing else between China and us. There she lies, sleeping giant. Let her sleep. For when she wakes, she will shake the world. You know who said that?
John Foster Dulles?
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Ah. Here.
Oh, no, thank you. What's your opinion?
Of Napoleon?
The Chinese.
Are you asking me as a politician or as myself?
Aren't they one and the same? Well, the point I'm about to make is about the Chinese. Some of our politicians seem to have learned a lesson from them. You never know whether they mean what they say. One truth concealing another.
Jones, I'd like to hire you.
Why don't you start by telling me everything you can that'll help me catch my son's killer?
Hal was killed by the same man who's blackmailing me.
And you weren't entirely truthful with me this morning.
No.
Why?
The blackmailer took a shot at me this noon in the garage of my office building.
And you saw the man?
No, I didn't. I ducked, naturally anticipating another shot, which never came. And by the time I looked up, he'd gone.
You think he's trying to kill you?
No. It was a warning shot. Because he called me at my office early this afternoon to threaten me again. Unless I come up with more money.
How much money does he want?
Another $100,000.
Another 100,000. Tell me, Mr. McCormick, why are you being blackmailed?
I'm a married man, Jones. The past few months, I've been having an affair with Karen Armsby.
Karen, oh, yes, that's the young lady that...
Yes, that's the one. And she was here on Thursday night. In fact, this is where she killed herself.
Well, the newspaper said that her body was found in her apartment.
It was, because Hal and I took it there. You see, I discovered her body about midnight, lying in my bedroom. I couldn't believe it. She was lying there with that empty pill bottle beside her. Anyway, I went out, I locked the door, I went and told Hal. We waited for the guests to leave, which was about 1 o'clock in the morning. And then we took Karen and the pill bottle back to her place.
Could I, trouble you for a glass of milk? I see you're a sailor, too.
Understand me, Jones. Hal didn't want to do it. In fact, I'm ashamed to say I had to lie to him. I told him that I'd never had an affair with Karen, that she was simply a lovesick political groupie with a history of emotional problems, which is true, and that her suicide in this house would wreck my career, wreck my marriage. It would make it look as if we really had been having an affair and that I'd tried to reject her, which was also true. Anyway, that's why Hal finally decided to help me. Because he trusted me, and because he believed in my political future.
You mean you brought the girl all the way out here to reject her?
No, she came with an actor friend, I'm not sure which. The place was full of Hollywood types that night.
Well, wouldn't the person that brought her have stayed to take her home?
I don't know. People were coming and going all evening.
How did all this get Hal killed?
Well, we didn't know it at the time, but obviously someone must have seen Karen's body in my bedroom before I did. Either that or they saw us carry her out. Anyway, I received this at noon on Friday. It's a demand for $100,000 to be delivered to the parking lot of the Griffith Park Observatory at midnight.
So you hired Hal to go after the blackmailer?
No, he was only supposed to deliver the money.
But you think he tried to catch the man?
Why else would the man have killed him?
Where's your car?
It's parked in the lower driveway. It lodged in the passenger headrest.
Mind if I hang on to this a while?
Not at all. What are you going to do with it?
I'm not entirely sure right now. Have you any idea who this man is?
No, he told me simply to expect his call at 11 tonight.
So you want me to do what you think Hal was trying to do?
Yes, I want you to catch this man. He's Hal's killer. You said you're out to get him, and neither one of us wants the police to do this job for us.
McCormick, I don't want you to think that I approve of your morals. In fact, I wouldn't even vote for you. But if you can help me catch my son's killer, I'll be happy to oblige.
How can you eat those things?
I can eat anything, as long as I can wash it down with a glass of cold milk. You know, I can believe the suicide part of Terry's story. I can even believe Hal's part in it. He was always fiercely loyal to his clients. But I just can't see him going as far as helping to pay off a blackmailer.
Maybe he didn't.
What do you mean?
Maybe that's why he called me that night. Maybe he'd gotten himself into something he didn't like and he couldn't go through with it.
But why kill him?
Well, maybe he saw the blackmailer, like Terry said, and he was going to try to take him. Or maybe the blackmailer thought that Hal was calling the police.
Maybe a lot of things. We could sit here and why and maybe ourselves to death. But I'm taking that phone call with Terry tonight at 11 o'clock. I'm interested in finding out who's going to be on the other end of that line. Party guests?
Yeah, a couple of them. A couple of Karen's other boyfriends. See, it's Reed and Marshall. Their names on the party list. Reed Carpenter and Marshall Eaton. They're both actors. Their addresses are on the backs of the pictures.
Oh, we don't have much time. Why don't you take one and I'll take the other?
Okay. You know, Barnaby, I would love to thank you for this wonderful lunch, but but I just don't have it in me.
Sure. I was there, but I didn't take Karen. I mean, I took somebody.
What about Karen?
This is a friend of Hal Jones, Donna.
How do you do?
What's he asking you about Karen for?
Oh, come on. He's talking to everybody who was at McCormick's party.
Some coincidence you take me to a party where she's at.
I didn't even know she was going to be there. Reed took her.
Reed Carpenter?
Yeah.
She didn't care any more about Reed than I do. She probably conned him into taking her because it was McCormick's party. She was freaky for McCormick.
I don't imagine that pleased Reed too much, huh?
Pleased him. They had an argument that night. Reed walked out.
Who took her home?
Oh, she always found somebody.
The girl is dead, Donna.
Well, I know how that breaks your heart, lover.
Well, Mr. Eaton, perhaps you better go back and finish your shower. Thank you.
Mr. Carpenter?
Yeah?
I thought I recognized you. You know, I watch your show every week.
Well, it's not the greatest part in town, but at least it's a running role.
I think you're pretty good. I really do. And I'm tough on those cop shows. You see, I'm sort of one myself.
Cop?
Private. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
About what?
Hal Jones. I'm his dad.
But he was just...
That's what I'm trying to find out about, asking some of the people who saw him last, like that party Thursday night.
McCormick's party. Yeah, I was there. Not for very long, though.
You remember seeing Hal?
Yeah, I saw him.
Remember anything else about him?
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't remember much. You see, I didn't stay too long.
You left early?
The girl I took wanted to stay a little longer.
Oh, yes, that's right. Miss Armsby. You must have been terribly shocked.
I was. And I wasn't.
How do you mean?
Well, I knew she was headed for trouble. I just didn't know it happened that fast.
You mean you knew she was going to kill herself?
Oh, no.
Oh, another man.
You better believe it.
Somebody that was there that night?
The host.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that rumor myself. Here, have a mint. They're good. Well, say, since you left early, I guess you wouldn't know how she got home.
What does my leaving early have to do with Hal Jones?
You're absolutely right, Mr. Carpenter. Not a thing.
Unless what?
You think there could be a connection?
Listen, Dad, why do you keep bugging me with your questions?
Because your answers get better and better. As your manners get worse and worse.
This is my floor. Any more questions?
I think you've answered them, Sonny. I'll tell you this. That Reed Carpenter is a real hothead. He hates questions about Thursday night almost as much as he hates Terry McCormick's guts.
Marshal Eaton said about the same thing. Evidently, Reed and Karen had a fight about Terry, and he left the party early.
And could have come back later to take her home, found the body.
That's a great setup for blackmail, but murder? Nah.
Look at this. Terry McCormick insists that the man who fired at him is the same man who killed Hal. This is a blow-up of the bullet that killed Hal. See the striations? Barrel markings along the side. Now this is a slug that I dug out of McCormick's car today.
Let me see the other one.
You see the markings are entirely different.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, this is from a .38, but someone else's .38.
Sounds like we're looking for two men. A blackmailer and a murderer. We're going to a blackmailing. I want to see those two men meet.
Reed Carpenter is just a guess.
Educated guess. Come on, my friend. I'll hold Terry's hand. You see where Carpenter leads you.
Okay.
Hello? Go down the Harbor Freeway, across the Signal Street overpass to the first dirt road. Drive down to the tanks at the railroad tracks. Be there at midnight, alone. When you see another car flash its lights, turn off yours. Get out of your car. Leave the bag halfway between the two cars and walk away. Stand with your back turned until you hear a car drive away. If you turn, you'll be shot. And this time I won't try to miss.
Well, it didn't leave us much time. Where's the money? You carry it.
What do you need me for?
If we're going to catch this man tonight, you better be there. If he sees me, he'll know it's a phony setup. And don't worry, you'll have plenty of protection. I'll be in the vicinity.
I hope you know what you're doing.
Isn't that why you hired me? I know exactly what I'm doing. Let me out around the turn up there. You go on ahead.
Down there.
No, Frank, this is my war party.
Those men are probably both armed.
I know.
Stop right there. Put it down. Get moving and stay in the light. Keep your back turned.
Just don't move. Well, Mr. Carpenter, I thought you only played roles of redeeming social virtue. Get up. Hold out your hand.
Are you willing to wreck an entire career for a lousy $100 grand?
Oh, no. The gentleman feels that you have a lot more at stake than he does.
Well, it's almost worth it to see him suffer.
Your life in jail?
My life?
That's the usual sentence for murder.
What are you talking about?
Hal Jones. You killed him Friday night when you made the blackmail drop.
Nobody made any drop. He never showed up. I waited up there for 2 hours.
Well, now, that's an interesting story, isn't it, McCormick? Might even be some truth in it.
What do you mean?
You thought that the only other person who knew about Karen's death was Hal. When the first blackmail note came, you thought he sent it. When you sent Hal to deliver the money that night, you followed him. When he didn't go to Griffith Park Observatory, you thought he was delivering the money to himself, and you shot him.
And tried to frame me.
You made the frame-up a lot easier, Mr. Carpenter, by running around firing wild warning shots.
Jones, what are you talking about? You're supposed to be working for me.
That's right. You hired me to catch your blackmailer and my son's killer. Why, that's almost a direct quote. And by golly, I think I got the both of you.
I should have known you were too old to think straight when I heard you rambling on about China and Napoleon. Where's the proof?
You're looking right at it, right here.
What?
This little old bag full of money. Just like the other night when Hal took it out with him. You see, I know this is Hal's because I gave it to him for his birthday a week ago. And how the hell did you get it back from him after he was murdered? Unless you were there.
Zip up the back. Bring it to the car. I didn't want this to happen. Believe me, Jones. Any more than I wanted to kill Hal.
Drop it. Or I'll kill you where you stand.
Let it go.
Thanks.
Like your old friend.
Glad I didn't have to use it again. Frank!
Barnaby.
Glad you could make it.
Thank you. How does it feel to be back in harness, an old war horse like you?
Well, it's a funny thing. Life was so good. Retirement, perfect health, nice ranch.
Yeah?
There was something missing.
And now you know, huh?
My work. And God help me that this is the way I must rediscover it. Through the death of my son.
Come on.
I used to be pretty good, you know.
Pretty good. The best in the business.
Oh, wait a minute. That's my line for you.
Ah, come on.
Barnaby Jones, starring Buddy Ebsen. Also starring Lee Merriweather, with guest stars Gary Lockwood, Corinne Camacho. Tonight's episode, Sunday Doomsday.
morning, Betty. How are you on this beautiful... What's wrong?
I don't know. That was on our door when I came in this morning, and this was with it.
In memoriam, Barnaby Jones, who will die. Sunday the 4th. It's funny. I feel fine. Never felt better in my life.
That's 3 days from now. What kind of a sick joke is that?
Ooh, forget it. I've gotten crank mail before.
Well, I'm not going to forget about it. I'm going to call Lieutenant Taylor or somebody down in that department if you're not going to, and I'm going to call off the barbecue for tonight.
Look, I'm taking it serious. There's no reason for both of us to panic. We'll have the barbecue at the ranch exactly as planned.
All right. No panic. Barbecue is planned. But are you going to call Lieutenant Taylor or am I?
Well, I think I'll pay him a personal visit. Somebody wants me dead Sunday. Sunday's a rotten day to die.
Your life's darn valuable to me, Barnaby. But not so much I can assign you an around-the-clock bodyguard.
Is that what I asked?
If I were you and you were me, I'd be screaming in your face and pounding a fist for you to get off your duff and protect a civilian like me.
I'm not really worried.
Well, I am. What kind of a mind sends a funeral wreath? A cruel, twisted mind. But that's not enough for us to move on, and you know it.
Who asked you to?
No, you didn't. But what do you want? Later.
List of men I sent up or helped send up. I want you to cross-check that against whoever came out of prison lately, let's say in the last 6 months, and give me a printout on it.
And what about all those names not on this list? The ones who never did any time because their lawyers got them off.
That would make the list too long. I've got to limit it somewhere. A man you sent to prison has got a bone to pick with you. You heard that saying, haven't you, Joe? Work on it, will you?
Okay.
I want to talk to every one of them.
Funeral wreath. What kind of a man thinks like that?
Psychopath, weirdo.
Daddy, not too fast. I'm getting dizzy. Please, I'm afraid.
More?
No, I don't think so.
The faster the better. You love
It's
it.
going too fast. No, please.
She's scared.
No,
She wants
I'm
off.
afraid. Please.
Hey, don't tease her like that. She wants off.
Who asked you?
I'm a mother, and I know when a child is scared.
And I don't like people butting in my business. What's it to you anyway, lady?
Listen, mister. I've seen her here before, but I've never seen you. Who are you, anyway?
Ladies, I'm the little tyke's father.
Daddy, I want to go home. I want to go home.
Just one more thing, baby.
Hey, you can't do that.
Daddy, you're funny.
Race you to the car?
Okay.
Go on.
Oh, you're so late, you two. I was worried, and it's nasty outside. Did you have a good time?
Daddy played a joke on a lady.
Well, you're going to have to hurry. We're late for the doctor. Oh, come on now. Daddy should have brought you home sooner.
Hey, give Daddy a big kiss, huh?
Thanks for the nice time.
Okay, honey.
I mean it, Howard. I want you to see her, but you're just going to have to bring her home on time. We agreed upon a certain thing, and you have...
Don't you ever criticize me in front of our daughter. You understand, Bonnie? As far as she's concerned, we're supposed to be in love with each other. Understand? So don't you ever criticize me again.
All right, Howard.
Yeah, we had a nice time. She's a great girl.
Yeah. I'm glad. I want you to see her whenever you can.
Hey, look, I appreciate it. I really do. It's going to be a regular thing now. I got a job right here in town, draftsman.
That sounds wonderful.
I learned it while I was in prison. I'm good at it, too.
Well, I'm glad everything's going so well for you.
Hey, you know what? I kind of got a serious girlfriend.
Well, that's very nice.
Yeah, we wrote a lot while I was in, and it's got kind of serious. In fact, I was going to ask you a favor.
What sort of favor?
I want to get her a birthday present. You know, I don't know, she keeps talking about a dress, a nice dress.
Yeah, okay. What size does she wear? What kind?
Just about your size. Hey, she keeps harping about basic black, so why don't you get her a nice black dress, huh?
Sure.
Oh, Bonnie. Here's some money for the dress. And just maybe you could put that in with it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Your money's no good, Danny. Put it away. Give the gentleman another drink. We'll be at the table. Your money never was any good, Danny.
Another milk, too?
Maybe later.
My money wasn't that bad. Passed for 7 months before anybody hollered queer.
How was it in the slammer this time, Danny?
You meet old friends. What's on your mind, Jones?
You working, Danny?
No, Barnaby, I'm not. But it's a funny thing. I don't have to check with you or my parole officer. My parole was over the 17th of last month.
Congratulations.
So?
Do you want to knock me over, Danny?
You? It's not a bad idea. But it's no way to make a buck.
How do you figure to make a buck?
I'm moving to Hawaii. I'm getting married. My new wife has a steady job there. Look for yourself. 2 tickets, L.A., Hawaii. One way. Leaving Saturday, see? You satisfied?
Satisfied? Checked out Danny Gernreich, number 7 on the list. Big fat 0, Joe.
Why don't you just hole up out at the ranch and lock your doors until we can find out if this screwball is for real?
I'm a growing boy. I need fresh air. You mean crawl in a hole and pull it in after me? For how long?
We'll have a final printout on the rest of those names maybe tomorrow.
Barnaby, there's a Jonathan Conroy on the line. He says it's personal. We don't have him in the files.
Excuse me, Joe. Barnaby Jones.
This is Jonathan Conroy, Mr. Jones. You remember me from the Newport Ski Club last 4th of July?
Well, I don't exactly recall, but what can I do for you, sir?
Well, I certainly remember you. You and you knew everything about them guns.
Betty, try to trace this.
You still there, Mr. Jones?
Yes. I was just trying to recall our conversation. I really don't know everything there is to know about guns.
Well, now, I'm fixing to go hunting in a few days, and I just wanted to make sure I took along the right equipment.
What kind of game are you going for?
Well, the animal I'm tracking, Mr. Jones, stands about 7 to 3 inches tall, weighs maybe 180, 85 pounds, and has gray hair. You got any ideas?
Yes. Don't aim that gun at me unless you're hiding behind a rock.
Oh, it'll be face to face, Barnaby. You can count on that.
Listen. Are you still there? Hello? Hello? Any luck?
No, darn it.
Well, couldn't hold him any longer. Forget it.
He didn't sound familiar to me. A real cutie.
Will you reach your friend?
I reached him. Well, he agrees with you. That's the one. I'll take it. We'll say 20 rounds of high-powered ammunition.
I know you'll find it's everything you require, sir. Sir, I realize the chamber is empty, but a good rule is never point a weapon at anybody. Unless you want to kill him.
You're absolutely right.
Jones, Tamar is too much. Is he a trick horse?
You bet you he's a trick horse. Matter of fact, before I came out of retirement, I taught him quite a few stunts. Because we're probably a little rusty now, but we'll see.
Rusty. If Barnaby isn't fishing when he takes a break, he's out here riding Tamar.
Yeah, it's getting a little dangerous riding in the valley.
Stray Indians, Barnaby?
No, freeways. Well, Tamar, you got an audience here. Step up, folks. Step up a little closer, folks. See Tamar, the one and only. Are you ready?
Oh, there.
For an encore.
Good boy.
He's a good old boy. He's a good old boy.
Betty, your barbecue is delicious.
I saw you go off your diet, though.
It's going to take 2 weeks in the gym.
Sorry about that.
Well, I have to get rid of it somehow.
I beg your pardon. I have a delivery for a Betty Jones.
Well, that's me. A package? Barbie, what is this, a surprise?
Not from me, maybe from one of your other admirers.
Yeah, thank you.
Looks nice, whatever it is.
Well, let's see. Hey! It's not my birthday. What is this beautiful dress?
Barnaby Jones' funeral.
You're the last person I expected to see. The last I ever wanted to see. Excuse me if I keep working. I promised this customer.
I don't want to bother you, Mrs. Paget. I want to talk to your husband.
That's a good one. Funny. Funny ha-ha and funny peculiar. I'd laugh, but it's just a little bit too ironic. Well, you can't talk to Marty. So if that's all, goodbye.
It's just for a few minutes. It's important to me, and it might be important to the both of you.
Why all this interest in Marty now? You couldn't care less when you sent him up in '58.
I didn't send him up, Mrs. Paget. He broke the law, and the law sent him up, and you both know that.
What's so important all of a sudden?
Somebody's threatening to kill me.
I hope they do.
It's obvious that it's someone who hates me, and Marty's on that list. Where is he?
In Sawtell Cemetery. He was in a hospital ward all last year, and he finally got his hands on a pistol.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Laura, believe me.
Barnaby Jones' office, may I help you?
Yeah, this is George T. Lane speaking, L-A-N-E. Is, Mr. Jones there?
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Lane. Mr. Jones isn't in the office at the moment. Can I take a message?
Well, gee, I do want to reach him right away. It's important. Do you know where I might find him?
I'm sorry, he's due at a meeting at Century Plaza West, and I don't think I'll be able to reach him. He's due out of there about 2:15. Could I have him call you then?
No, I'll call back. I'm not in the office right now. Thanks, goodbye.
Goodbye. This just came special messenger.
No fingerprints. Didn't expect any.
Felt pen you can buy anywhere, and no trace on that special messenger either.
You can buy this photographic paper in 1,000 stores in Los Angeles.
This is obviously taken, and he returned the dress. Hey.
What?
You remember I told you the man called, never called back?
Yeah.
Well, that's how he got that when I told him where you were going to be. Let me get that name.
The name is George somebody, except it was Jonathan something when he called from the skeet shooting club. Now, names and sound of voices aren't going to help us now.
Barnaby, all this, the wreath, those pictures. Why would anybody?
Go to all that trouble?
Yeah.
He wants me to sweat, pulling the wings off the fly.
You want me to call Joe Taylor?
No, not just yet. Betty, if I asked you to draw a circle on something, what would you use?
The size of these?
Size of those and as perfect as those.
Oh, water glass, bottom of a coffee can, maybe?
No, perfect.
One of those, whatchamacallits the kids use in school.
These weren't drawn by any kids, and those whatchamacallits are a compass or a pair of dividers. Perfect circle. Right on the nose. Now, each one of these prints has a little hole right in the middle of the circle. And these crosshairs he drew in, you could draft plans with those right angles. So who are we up against? What kind of profession would you say we might be dealing with?
An engineer, draftsman, maybe?
They teach drafting in penitentiaries.
A draftsman. A draftsman who's a real cutie.
Roger Gossett, 1940 North Channel Road, Santa Monica. Released from Chino Authority 29 November last year.
Anybody else?
Negative.
Okay, thanks. Roger Gossett, Barnaby. Unless there's somebody convicted on a federal rap and sent out of state, Gossett's got to be your man. Have you checked the disposition of those sent to federal penitentiaries?
Sure, it's in the works. We should be getting a teletype from Washington any time now. But I'll bet it's Gossett. He's local, he's a draftsman, and he learned it in jail.
Roger, are you too busy to see anybody?
No, Mom, send him in.
Hello, Gossett.
Barnaby Jones? I don't believe it. Hey, it's good to see you, no kidding. How about a cup of coffee?
No, thanks. Good to see you, too. How's it going?
Oh, great. Whole new career. Couldn't be better. Say, what brings you here?
Somebody's trying to kill me. I thought maybe you.
Why should I want to kill you, Mr. Jones? You did me a favor, you know.
I did? How do you figure?
Well, look, when you nabbed me, man, I was dying. I had a habit I was pushing. Now I'm clean, I'm working. I got a future. Besides, I couldn't very well kill you even if I wanted to.
Why not?
You remember the New Year's riots at Chino, don't you? See, I figured if I had to make a trade, losing my mobility, but finding myself. Well, that's more than a lot of guys ever get, isn't it? So, like I said, between what you did and getting the education in prison, I got to figure somebody did me a favor.
I see. Oh, no, that's all right. Listen, thank you for that. Bye.
Thank who for what?
Well, it worked out like this. There were only 2 men sent up on federal charges. Setlin is still in Leavenworth. But in Atlanta.
Howard Lee. Fraud.
No. He was released last week. And he has a trade school qualification in...
Drafting.
Drafting. Production artist, rendering, like that. They said he's an exceptionally fine student.
Did they know where he went on the outside?
No, he served his full sentence, was released. That's all the warden knew. What now?
I can take it from here.
Take it where?
Well, there are plenty of places where I can look for him. Old address, old friends, hangouts. Don't worry about it.
What do you mean, don't worry about it?
Well, you got things to do, and thanks.
For what?
I think you just saved my life.
We still have to get through tomorrow.
Oh, you got any special plans for...
Barnaby.
I'd like you to plan to spend tonight and all day tomorrow out the ranch.
All right. What about you?
Oh, I'll be here. I won't be able to cover all the bases I want anyway. I'm going to ask Joe to let me use a couple of hotlines. I might ask some of the off-duty boys to help me out. I'll be here till I poop out, and when I get sleepy, I'll sack in on the daybed.
I don't like it.
Nobody's asking you to like it.
You sure you'll be all right?
I've done it before.
You will eat something, won't you? Which reminds me, I've got to do some shopping. Cupboards look pretty skimpy after the barbecue.
You can take off any time. Oh, honey, before you go, would you get me Joe? Look. We're better off than we were an hour ago. Before, all we knew was that there was somebody out there wiring a booby trap for me. At least now I know what the booby trap looks like.
Betty Jones, isn't it?
I beg your pardon?
Betty Jones, Hal's wife? I'm Brian Harper.
I'm sorry.
UCLA. I was a friend of Hal's, and you and I met several times after the games. Well, obviously you don't remember.
Forgive me. Brian Harper? Yeah. How do you do?
Yeah, Hal and I were in the swimming team together, and we were both Sigma Phi's, the literary society. I was in the Bahamas when I heard about Hal. Sorry, Betty.
He's quite a guy.
How's Barnaby?
He's fine.
Well, I met him once.
Oh.
Yeah, after that famous water polo game against Berkeley.
Oh, yes, I remember that one.
Well, give my regards.
I'll do that.
It's nice to see you again, Betty.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You out of gas?
Out of something, Betty.
Well, listen, there's a gas station a couple blocks down. You want me to give you a lift?
Gee, you sure I'm not putting you out?
No problem. Come on.
Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Well, he must be in trouble again, Mr. Jones. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
I wanted to be sure. That's why I want to talk to him.
But I never know when he's going to show up. I mean, we are divorced, you know, when he was in. Howard only comes by when he's visiting Chris.
Where's he living now, Miss Lee?
I really don't know that. Can't you tell me why you're looking for him?
You know if he's got a job?
I think he does. He has a good job with a drafting firm or something.
He does nice work. He do his own printing, too?
Yes, it always was a hobby of his. You know what pictures like this would cost done professionally? Now when everything was seeming to work out for him, he even has a girl. They like each other a lot. I even bought a present for Howard.
A dress?
Yes, that's a very good guess.
A black dress.
How did you know that?
Thank you very much for talking to me, Miss Lee.
But Mr. Jones, do you want me to tell him that you're looking for him, or...?
I think he knows.
Don't come in shooting, Barnaby. Just me. Just looking after the store.
How we doing?
Not a peep around here. McManus called in about 9:30. He'd hit 3 of the addresses. Nothing. Going out to Hollenbeck now.
How am I going to square it with you guys? On your own time? You're experts. I get paid for working.
Shut up, eat your pie. Did you have anything to eat at all?
Yeah, sandwich somewhere in the car. Blanks, huh?
Me, I don't expect him to make a move until Sunday. These psychos get hooked on a battle plan. They follow it. Did his ex-wife open up? But Howard is in town.
It's Howard Lee, Joe. He's a draftsman. Camera is his hobby. He asked his wife to buy a black dress for a present. Pass inspection?
You both pass inspection.
I hope we can say the same thing Monday morning. Why did you get some sleep?
You kicking me out?
With thanks.
Okay. Okay, I'll lock up. You take care.
Hello?
Barnaby?
Betty? You all right?
No, I'm not. Barney.
Hello? Hello, Betty? Well, don't worry. He'll call back. He'll dial frantically. I bet he wishes now the foreman would stay on Sundays.
Barnaby, he wants you to come alone.
Do what Howard says, Barnaby.
Lee, if you harm her in any way, She's just leverage.
It's you I want. Like I said, you and I, face to face.
I'll be out. I'll be there in 40 minutes. Don't you hurt her.
No mistakes, Barnaby. No tricks. Just remember, I can see in all directions out here. No innocent pickup trucks cruising by or horse vans. And if a helicopter just happens to fly over, well, I'm not sure what I might do. It might make me think you were going back on your word.
How can I help it if a car...
You just better. Hang up now, dear.
Barnaby, don't worry about me.
Do you usually have a big breakfast, or is it just toast and coffee or something like that?
What?
Well, I don't want to cause any trouble, but I thought you might be hungry, too.
You want me to fix you breakfast?
I would appreciate it, Betty. Though I don't want you to put yourself out.
What do you want?
Well, scrambled eggs or an omelet. Either one would be fine. Whatever you want, Betty, would be fine with me.
Would you like some orange juice?
Great. Frozen?
We have 6 trees.
Must be nice to have fresh orange juice anytime you want. You know, I've learned a lot about you two lately. I've learned a lot. What gets me is how you can stand it. I know the hours you put in, alone in the same room with him, all the time, every day.
Barnaby?
Yeah. He likes to boss you around a lot. I know him. I know what he can be like. My father was exactly the same way. They even sound the same. I know that kind. Love to give orders. Yes, sir. No, sir. Have to run the world just the way they see fit.
Rules and laws. And if you step out of line, whack!
Barnaby isn't like that.
You know, everybody practically forgot about it. Jones didn't have to keep after me. It was all over, a lousy fraud. Everybody forgot about it. Nobody was even paying him by then. He just didn't want to have a case like that still on his books. What the hell difference did it make? I'll tell you. A gold star for him and 6 years out of my life for me. She'd just been born, too. I knew my daughter 6 lousy months before Jones butt in. Once a week. That's how many times they let me see her. A couple of lousy hours a week. But Barnaby Jones, boy. He thinks he's God Almighty.
You finally made it!
Where is she? Where's Betty? What have you done to her?
Nothing! She's just fine. She's in the ring. Why don't you see for yourself? Hey, Barnaby! Are you just gonna stand there?
I'm coming up!
Hey, Betty, he wants to know if you're all right.
He killed Shane.
I know. Hey, Barnaby, why don't you come a little closer? Hey, Barnaby, what's the best thing in your life?
She is.
Good.
Whatever you want, Howard. Just say it.
I've got it, Fred. Dead. Dead. You'll be my friend.
Listen, Howard.
Just keep coming, baby. Come on.
You said this was between you and me. Let me get her out of here.
Barnaby.
You all right?
I will be. You?
Soon.
Sunday.
Yeah. Sunday.
Barnaby.